Oh, here's one of my favorites. The one who won't shut up.
It's like,
Did you push record?
Thanks so much for tuning back into Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. Today we continue our conversation with the love guru. I love that. Rachel Monet. Rachel, thanks for staying over.
thank you for having me. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Oh, well, I'm enjoying our conversation. We have a lot in common, some of which we mentioned on our last segment, which we'll link to. Rachel and I were both married for quite some time and decided to leave long-term marriages and start over again, including online dating and everything it takes to meet somebody new and start that new relationship. And that's what we want to talk about on this segment, because
Yes.
so many women, are, and men, of course, are in that position. And you go online, all of a sudden, people are avoiding you, or it seems like they're running away from you. You're not getting anywhere. What's going on?
Yes. Haven't you ever gone out with somebody you're like met for a coffee date and they just ramble on and on and on and on and on and you're like want to go to the bathroom and never come back?
Yes. But I
Yes.
was told that was impolite.
It can be impolite, but it's also a more direct approach is better rather than just pulling a disappearing act. Because anyway, we can get into that later.
Well, what we're laughing about is that Rachel wrote a great article. We'll link to it. It's on her website. Why are what did you call it? Why people are running away
Why
from you?
people run away from you?
Yeah.
You know, it's where you've had that what you thought was a great first meeting, and if you're a woman, you're going, okay, he said he's going to call,
Yeah.
you know, and 3 days have gone by and nothing. So 3 days is the old-fashioned litmus test of, don't be seen desperate. And or if you're a guy, you're already planning your first date and your first kiss before you even get to the car, and then she doesn't return your messages, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, you outline like 5 types of behavior
Yes.
that are you this person? Let's talk about that, because that's really funny. I think the first, I'm looking at my notes here, the qualifier. What is a qualifier?
Okay, I live in Newport Beach, and there are a lot of gold diggers here. The men that I've talked to, and I just talk to strangers, and they share with me their feedback. And the number one feedback here in this area is women will ask questions to determine if they have the financial ability to take care of them in the lifestyle that they want to have.
Hmm.
And they're blatant about it. And the men are resentful of that. They're like, she didn't even get a chance to know me. She just wants to know if I make enough money.
Mhm. Yeah.
There are other ways to do that without being so obvious.
Like what?
Ask him what his hobbies are, his interests. He may say, I have a private airplane. I like to go fly, or I'm into classic cars. I go to Cars and Coffee. I've got this little Alfa Romeo. It takes money to do those sort of things. Those are not hobbies for people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
If somebody plays tennis, you just talk to them about their interests, and they'll reveal what they like to do, and whether, if they're sitting around playing games all day long in the video, or just on the couch watching TV. If you like to do that thing, watch football, then you might have a match. But if you're looking for somebody who's fairly well heeled and has their stuff together to the level you're looking for, definitely don't just ask, what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and if I was a man, I'd be grossly offended if my income was being that was one of the first things. So no, women, don't do that. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
You said the complainer, the victim. Tell me about the victim.
Oh, they never stop complaining about all who he done me wrong, she done me wrong. Right now we're addressing women. So the whole, my husband was a jerk, they go on about it. Just every story they tell, it's almost as if they're trying to explain to you how they got to be the most wonderful person they are today with all these hardships that they've experienced, or something along those lines. And nobody likes a negative Nancy. No.
No.
Like I want to hear, well, here's a little tip. Men are naturally pleasers. and it's in their DNA to make their woman happy. And if you start out as a happy woman and you smile and you're friendly and you're positive, kudos to you, because chances are he's going to lean in and want to get to know you better. But if all you do is complain and dump, he wants nothing to do with you, because the odds of him being able to please you are this big, and he knows it. He's going to move on to someone is easier to please.
Yeah, you think that was so obvious, but so many, we hear this all the time, that women do this. I mean, men do it too, but again, today we really want to talk about what women, so don't do that too. Yeah. Number 3, you have the baggage collector. I like these titles too. I just kind of see the little caricature.
Well, baggage collector seems a little bit like what we just talked about, but it's different because they never let go of a grudge. And all they do is just bash their exes. Well, what guy wants to be in a lineup of exes who just get bashed to the next person? So let that stuff go. Get rid of the baggage. Yeah, don't carry it around.
Yeah, and if you're still feeling that way, you've got internal work to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which, there might be good reasons why you feel that way, you have that bad, but no, you don't share it on a first date. So if people are, and that's what we're talking about, leaving you, you're not getting those second dates, that, and you do this, don't do it.
Now, here's the thing, is that baggage can serve a purpose if you're willing to do the work and examine why you're so upset by those topics and those things. And they go, okay, well, I've got work to do with myself, like you said. And then you can take and turn it into a positive if you feel you need to tell those stories. But I don't recommend it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Here's one of my favorites. The one who won't shut up.
It's like, yes, so they ask a question, and 3 words into it, they're going to top you. They're going to cut you off. Oh my God, I so know what you're talking about, and blah, blah, blah. They go off. And the next thing, they'll ask you a question seeming interested. You get 3 or 4 words in, and off they go with their story. You can't get a word in edgewise. They're so absorbed with themselves, they will never be interested in you because it's all about them.
Well, exactly. And I think some people do it out of nervousness, maybe, not necessarily because they're narcissists, although that certainly is indicative of that, I think. But yeah, see if you do that. You might be doing it and you don't even realize it because you're aiming to please, or you want this person to like you. So, you have something to say. He just cute something, and I just don't do that. I agree.
You brought up a very good point. So yes, it is a red flag for narcissists and borderline personality, those kind of people, but it is very common with people who get nervous. So like maybe introverts, shy people, they're not used to meeting and talking about themselves. So they just take a deep breath and go for it.
Yeah.
So again, if you find yourself doing that and you're one of nervous, shy people, you don't get out much, just be cognizant of that and take turns. It's like playing volleyball. You got to keep the ball going back and forth.
Yeah, and if there is not enough pause, or if he's just talking and not breathing or stopping, then that's something says something to you. You may be irritated, so it kind of works both ways. The last one is the high maintenance woman. This was interesting. I liked what you said there. Well, I'll let you answer first, and then I'll ask.
Right. So the high maintenance woman is the woman who has the perfect hair, the perfect eyebrows, the perfect wardrobe. She's, doing everything she can to appear perfect, but she's dead inside. Or she may be the most wonderful person inside, but a man takes a look at that, and there's a few men that want the arm candy. Yes, and then you're going to be in alignment there. But most men will look at that and clutch their wallet and take a hike because they know it's going to cost them $1 million just to keep you. And, when at the end of the day we wash off our makeup and we're truly ourselves, that's what turns a man on. He wants to see a fresh, scrubbed smile. He wants your smile. He wants what's here, not the packaging so much. Yes, it's good to look good and take care of yourself, absolutely. But if you put all the emphasis on that, typically it's going to drive good men away.
Yeah. No, I found that really interesting because I that actually worked with me, or I utilize it with men. I mean, I frankly, the suit and tie thing, it's not me. I'm more casual than that. Or the, posing with your pores, the huge turnoff. That kind of stuff. I want real people. So I could totally see, that unless you are that woman that is going, if that's who you are, clad in makeup and high fashion all the time, don't do that on a first date. Or don't meet people like that. Be more approachable, be more casual.
It's intimidating. And just as we were talking, it's also puts you in the target of predators, because very often women who present themselves like this have low self-esteem. And that makes them a target for predators and people who want to take advantage of that and draw them in and give them all this attention.
Yeah.
But not for the reasons that you want.
Yeah, no, good point. No, I love that article, and I definitely want to talk about that. We'll link to it so that, they can, anybody's interested can read more. I'll also link to all of your information. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you and, get some tips or workshops, I know you have all kinds of information there on finding love again after 50 and maybe analyzing what you may be doing right, what you may be doing wrong. I will, we went over that what we usually do, but this is a fun topic. I want to hold you over for another segment where, we talk maybe to men, what men shouldn't do on a first day when they first get started. But now we'll close out, and we'll see you next time on Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. For more videos on finding love again after 50, please visit our website, secondact.tv. And if you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Here's the button.